Welcome to the AEW Dynamite / Collision Summer Blockbuster 4-hour extravaganza post show. It's your boy ABE from DET.
I am the Bald Bro from the NYC.
We here, another back-to-back got the chant going. Back-to-back 4-hour weeks. Wasn't bad though, man. Kind of flew by, man.
Yeah, this week's 4 hours, I think, flew by better than last week's. Like I said off the air, I think things tied in from the first half of the show to the second half of the show, kept you interested, storyline wise, progress things going forward towards the all-in build. So I think that's what helped out tonight.
You know what's crazy? I just was looking at my notes and a notification popped up. I forgot it was the finals. Dynamite was so good tonight. I wasn't even switching back and forth.
Yeah, no, he didn't even care for that. And it's like, dude, as good as it was, I didn't even check in on the Mets game or anything else. I was like, boom, glued in on the TV.
Well, let's get into it for those who didn't. It starts off what I would call is one of the instant AEW Dynamite classics. We get Swerve, Ospreay, and these brothers put on an instant classic and go the distance. Afterwards, Swerve grabs the mic and says, let's go to sudden death. Just when you think we're about to get just that, out comes the Death Riders to distract Swerve. The Young Bucks come down, jump him from behind, tie him up. They're about to super kick him with his own goddamn shoe. But Will Ospreay jumps in like a presidential Secret Service agent and takes the bullet for Swerve. Incredible beginning to AEW blockbuster. What do we call it? Blockbuster, summer blockbuster, whatever.
Summer blockbuster.
Summer blockbuster. What an opening. Your thoughts on Swerve, Ospreay, and all the shenanigans after?
I mean, like I said, we as AEW fans, we are just so damn spoiled, man. We are spoiled. Like I've said this many times before. This is the one promotion in the world where you could get Swerve and Ospreay, not just on free television, but it's going to lead off the show. Yep. This is a main event for any pay-per-view and any promotion, any PLE, whatever. This is your main event that would take 4 to 5 months build to finally get this match. It's like, nah, we got beef. We gotta set stuff aside right now. Meet me in the ring. We squared off right in the squared circle. Like you said, 30-minute time limit draw, and these guys were just going bar for bar, just throwing haymaker after haymaker. I mean, I lost count of how many house calls there were, how many hidden blades there were. But you know what really cost Ospreay during the match, which has cost him throughout the majority of his AEW run, his hesitancy to pull the trigger on that Tiger Driver. That's what cost him in this match. He could have beaten Swerve. He dropped him right on the back of his head, but nah, he showed that moment of weakness. And Swerve, he don't got that moment of hesitation. Just a few more seconds, maybe another minute, I think Swerve picks up the victory, but time runs out. Time limit draw. Like you said, we want overtime. We want a definitive winner. Nah, the dastardly Death Riders coming out there, ruining everybody's fun. But then the Swerve, no pun intended, Young Bucks coming out and, like you said, pulling out Swerve's own custom Iverson's out.
Right.
And like you say, handcuffed to the rope. Swerve got nowhere to go. Ospreay out of nowhere. Double super kick, thumbtacks to the face, neck, taken out. And man, Bucks were shook, like they run for the hills, and more to come to later on this angle. But oh my God, did this set the tone for the night? This is a match of the year, and this is, like I said, it's free television. We are beyond spoiled. Tony, we don't mind it at all. Keep spoiling us.
Are you okay with the time draw? Did you want a winner?
I am okay with it in this scenario because there's a bigger picture beyond whoever wins or loses this match. We see what Ospreay's intention was in the beginning after Double or Nothing. He has a bigger goal in mind. Whether he wins or loses, that's not his biggest concern right now. He has bigger fish to fry. That's the Death Riders. That's the Elite. That's the Young Bucks. So I'm okay with it now, but it's definitely something that will be revisited in the near future, maybe after All In. We'll see. But, like I said, later in the show, we have a clearer direction of where things are going.
Definitely. Shout out Ross in the chat, and shout out Nothing in the chat as well. Appreciate you guys joining us on the post show. But next up, after that opening, we get Mystico defeats Christian by pinfall. Your thoughts on this match? I like, it was basically he was also hyping up him and MJF, talking in Spanish. But your thoughts on this one?
Well, first off, before we get to the result, my man Blake Christian getting more TV time. Vanilla Baby out here. Vanilla Baby is out here getting more TV time. And listen, he looks like $1 million. You put him in the ring with anyone, and I think he's gonna have an impressive showing. He always does. But him and Mystico had a fun little back and forth match. I mean, that's a talent that, like I said, can make anyone look great. But it's Mystico. He's one of the greatest luchadors of all time. So it was a great showing by him. Like, I'm excited for the match with him and MJF next week in Mexico at Grand Slam. It's going to be a good one. I mean, like I said, it's just a great contrast in styles. I think MJF can make it work with Mystico. I think they'll do just fine. But I mean, if you don't know, well, my guy MJF with one of the burns that came out of nowhere, saying he used to watch him as a kid, and to me, you're still the sloppy Sin Cara. I was like, oh, fuck.
Shots
fired. God damn. Like, if you kids don't remember the early 2010s, Sin Cara on Raw, like, that's real nasty work by MJF. But we shouldn't expect anything less from MJF. But man, I cannot wait for that match next week in Mexico.
Definitely can't wait for that. That was actually absolutely incredible.
That was crazy.
Oh man, then we got some shenanigans with when the Hurt Syndicate attacked Dorado backstage, but then that leads us to Hurt Syndicate versus Speedball Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight, and Dorado. This was a damn good match. MJF was out there in the MVP outfit, seamless, and that I like the touch of that.
Yeah.
But Hurt Syndicate, they get the win. Your thoughts on this one?
I mean, it was a good fun match. I mean, there were a couple rough spots, like I can understand maybe a clash of styles, maybe like Sean and Bobby, they don't get to work with the smaller guys or the newer talents like Bailey and Kevin Knight, so they got to get familiar with each other. But I think overall it's still a pretty good match, a good showing from Oscar Dorado. That's another one that he's just one of the best luchadors in the world. If you haven't seen a lot of him, I beg you, please go on YouTube, look him up. You will not be disappointed. But like you said, the best part of this match was MJF, like you said, in the MVP outfit, and tried to do the balling, but he missed the elbow. He missed the elbow drop. But overall entertaining match, and you get Hurt Syndicate with the win, but you do get Mystico coming back out, getting a little hit of revenge on MJF, get him to tap out, towards the end. So, like I said, building towards their Grand Slam match next week. It's MJF at Mexico. He's bringing back the Mr. America gimmick, so he's gonna walk in there with nuclear heat in Arena of Mexico, and it's gonna be great TV, man. I can't wait.
Definitely. Next up after that, though, we get the carcass of Hangman Page drugged to the ring by the Death Riders. They toss him in. Moxley's trying to talk to him and letting him know why he will not win at All In. And to his rescue, because Ospreay was out, Swerve was out, he had nobody, but the ops come down to save the day. He gets loose and warns the Death Riders if he catches any one of them, it's going to be hell to pay. Your thoughts on Hangman segment with the Death Riders?
It's mind games 101 from Moxley. Like, he's telling him, like, yo, you're not focused, man. You're worried about Swerve, you're worried about Hank, you're worried about Ospreay, you're worried about the Young Bucks, but you don't have your mindset on me. You don't have your eyes on the prize, which is the AEW World Championship. Like, does he have, he has the physical skills to get it done, but does he have it up here? As of right now, I don't think so. And Mox knows that, so he's playing the mind games to a T perfectly. He's getting in Hangman up here, so he's got 4 weeks to iron out all that stuff. But remember the beginning of the show, Christopher Daniels said, listen, you got some some loose ends to tie up, man. Like, you cannot do this by yourself. I know, as great as Hangman is, it's the Death Riders, it's the Young Bucks. I mean, it's so, they got the numbers game on you. So whatever you got to do in the next 4 weeks, you got to make it work, boss, because you're not in the right mindset right now. That's what Moxley's counting on. That's what he's banking on right now. And right now, Moxley's right. Whether you like him or not, he's playing the game. He's playing the game, and he's playing it the right way.
Facts. Next up, though, we get Anna and Tay Mello get the win over Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. This was a damn good match. I don't like Megan and Ford losing so much. Megan was on a high recently. She was fighting Toni Storm for the title. I understand there's a lot of rumors about tag team division, and possibly they are building that. But I just don't like the goddess taking L's. I don't care if she got the pin or not, but your thoughts on this match? And I'm not mad. It's, Mello came back. She needed a dub, but your thoughts on this one?
I mean, great to see Ty Mello back in the ring. Ty Mello and Anna Jay, great tag team. Listen, if you've been a day one AEW fan, then you know the tag team matches that her and Anna Jay have had. I recommend going on YouTube, looking up AEW Rampage New Year's Edition. The team of Ty J versus Penelope Ford and the Bunny, that hardcore match at Daly's Place. Yes. I don't care what it says. That's a top 10 AEW match of all time, in my opinion. Those two can go. They are a great team. I think they had great chemistry tonight with Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne. I hear you. They've taken a couple of losses as a team, Megan and Penelope. But I kind of feel the way that it's Penelope who's taking the pins, so that might drive a wedge or split apart Megan and Penelope in the next few weeks. We'll see. Okay. Because I think Megan has bigger aspirations than the tag team division, in my opinion, especially if there are women's tag titles coming in the future. But Ty looked great in the ring. I mean, it looked like she didn't skip a beat. But she's a much welcome addition back to the women's division.
Definitely. I know Sammy Guevara, happy to have them double checks coming in the household.
Yeah, man.
Next up, I give AEW a lot of credit because they learned from their mistakes. I remember a year ago on a post show, I was saying, they need to do more vignettes to explain things to the non-educated wrestler. And this segment did just that. The Kenny Omega Okada vignette they played explained everything beautifully. If you were not a fan after that, you completely understood everything. So kudos to AEW to doing that for the fans who aren't familiar about it. But the contract signing, everything felt serious. They unleashed the new unified title. The winner will get that beautiful new belt. I don't know about beautiful. I'm exaggerating a little bit. Kind of reminds me of the old women's title. Maybe it's just me, but it might grow on me. But after that, Don Callis comes out and he's talking shit, trying to stir up the contract signing, and he does just that as he pulls a trick from under his sleeve, and it's Okada himself lining up with Don Callis, taking out Kenny Omega, vicious elbow off the top rope. He's getting carried out on a stretcher, and then a second, even more vicious elbow off the top rope to the stomach. Blood spewing out his mouth like a goddamn volcano. R.I.P. Kenny. And I ain't talking South Park. A hell of a segment. I like Don Callis with Okada, but your thoughts on this one?
Let's start with the vignette. The vignette was beautiful. Like you said, even if you're a casual AEW fan let's say you just started maybe watching the last year or two, that you are not familiar with the rivalry between Omega and Okada, this vignette did it justice. It did it perfectly. Explain all the previous matches that they had, just how it pretty much explained how it might be the greatest wrestling rivalry in the history of the sport. It is just insane. And it felt like just one of the greatest trips down memory lane, like of me watching the matches before, but just recapping it again, like just what they did in the ring, like those 6-7 years ago. And like we know, this is the first time they're meeting on American soil. And then, with the new unified championship, I don't think I'm going to say this. I have a hunch it's not done yet. because if you look at the belt, it's really just gold plating. I think it needs a little bit more detail in it, just a little pieces that maybe it's not 100% done, but let's get it on TV for the contract signing. If you look at it closely, I think it's a mix between, it kind of looks like a mix of the first women's title
Right.
and the old New Japan title. So I want you to like look at the old New Japan title
Yeah.
and the one, it's kind of a weird mix, but like I said, I don't think it's done, but it looks good right now. But let's see when we get to all in the finished part. But let me tell you something. The contract signing, I like the addition of Don Callis because if you know, he was the announcer for majority of the matches of Omega and Okada. He was there front and center in Japan. He knows
Yeah.
these guys like the back of their hand. And I love the part where Kenny said, I know all your tricks. They know all your tricks. And if you heard what Cal said, like, oh yeah, what about this trick? And boom, Okada with the back with the title. And then, dude, the first elbow drop looked like death. And he's strapped to the gurney, and then he's on the outside. Okada hits another elbow drop. Death again. And then they cut to Kenny, and straight out of a horror film, like just blood, and it literally looks like he's puking his blood and guts. And like, dude, let's be honest, it's some scary shit because his health situation is real. It's fucking real. So that visual to end the first 2-hour block was insane. That might be the craziest ending to Dynamite this year, and that's saying something. But oh my god, like I didn't think I could. I was already here for Omega Okada at all, and they somehow took me to up here. I cannot wait to see what they do next.
Definitely. And it feels like a week ago we were just saying, Okada needs to be in something serious, and boom, instantaneously like a rocket, this becomes one of the top feuds in the business. I'm not even gonna just say AEW. It's always been, but it's just got reignited tonight. Definitely. Next up, one of the future stars of AEW, Kyle Fletcher, defeats Bowens. Archer was ringside. Badass Billy Gunn was ringside, but it wasn't enough with all the shenanigans. Fletcher, the young gun, gets the job done. Bowens, another L. Your thoughts on this one?
Very good match between Bowens and Fletcher. Listen, I think like I said, Fletcher just continues to improve every week. I mean, he might be the best television wrestler right now in the company. And that just, think of what I'm just saying with the roster of Swerve and Ospreay and Omega and guys. He might be the most consistent TV wrestler out there right now in any company. And like I said, this kid's only 27 years old, hasn't even scratched his prime yet, but I mean, he could put on a great wrestling match with anyone. I knew Bowens and Fletcher would deliver, and they both did. I mean, yeah, it's another loss for Bowens, but I still like where his singles run is going. He's showing you all the 5 tools. You know what? He just has to put it all together. Give it a little time and patience. Let him cook a little bit, and I think he'll be fine in the future. But right now, I think it's the time of the Proto Star. And listen, it has to be sooner rather than later. We got to belt this guy up. Adam Cole, I love you, dude. Love you, baby. But I think his time is over. The baby's in the past. Protostar is the future. Like put the rocket ship on him and send him to the moon, all the way to the moon, man.
Definitely. Next segment, we got FTR in the ring with Atlantis Senior and Junior. All type of disrespect. This was coming. When that old man came out and I saw FTR and Stokely, I said, somebody's getting disrespected, and that's what happened. All hell basically break loose. A bunch of people from the locker room came out. Brody, a little bit of everybody. This segment, it was a little sloppy to me. I wasn't mad at it, but it was just like a bunch of people were involved. But it kind of plays into what you were saying. Maybe they're telling another story later down the line, like they were a little bit. But FTR, comical with Stokely, as always. Your thoughts on this segment?
I mean, FTR are just money in what they're doing right now. Like they're great no matter what they do, whether it's face or heel, but their money in their role that they're playing right now. It's just them just going after Nigel over and over again. I think Stokes said like he's a pill addict now, and like just they keep cutting to Nigel. It's like, what are you talking about? I'm here, but
Right.
whatever. Like Dax is just running down Atlantis Senior, but it was coming. Him and his son weren't going to take that crap. But I do agree. Like I feel after they start scrapping, everyone starts coming out one by one. I think it was a little too sloppy for me. And, we'll skip ahead. Like, they announced at the end of the show a 12-man tag. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like this match at all because
Right.
it's like on one team, you got, Bandito and a few other guys that I would like to have more of a spotlight on themselves, like, for the Grand Slam Mexico show. Because we already have a 10-man tag, with the Death Riders and the Bucks versus the Ops and Swerve and Hangman. Now you had a 12-man tag. Like the 10-man tag, I understand that's storyline based. I'm cool with that. But a 12-man tag, like that, just from a sloppy segment tonight, like
Right.
I expected a lot better of a built card for Arena Mexico. I think we'll get a couple more matches. Maybe we'll round everything out. So we'll see in the next few days. But right now, that match, that's a glaring problem for me. Like this match didn't need to be made. I understand, you want to try to get as much talent on the card as
Right.
possible, but
Right. Tony has a
respectively,
habit of that.
yeah, but you know what? He does that do that for the pre-shows
Yeah.
of your main event. Don't do this for the first time going to Mexico, for Grand Slam Mexico, your TV special. Like,
Right.
you know, that's my most negative critique of the show and of Grand Slam Mexico, if I can be honest.
Fact. Same here. Same here.
Yeah.
Next up, they made up for that one. Tony Storm defeats Julia Hart with Mercedes Moné ringside with a 5-course meal, looking absolutely beautiful. But afterwards, you already knew some shenanigans were going to happen. Mercedes gets involved. They get to fighting, but out comes Mina Shirakawa for the save. She thinks she made the save, but Mercedes jumps back in the rings and takes them both out and makes Tony Storm kiss the belt goodbye. This is starting to feel like a little bit of the passing. I can definitely 1000% see Mercedes Moné walking away all in with that title. But your thoughts on Julia Hart versus Timeless Tony Storm?
Decent match between Tony and Julia, but respectively, I feel like I've seen this match too many times in the past few weeks, honestly. In the
Yes.
past couple of months, I mean, whether it's a variation of Tony versus Julia, Tony versus Sky, or tag match with the two, like, okay, no offense to Julia, very, very bright future, improving talent week by week, but I need to see more. I need to see others step up to the plate and get some opportunities. It was a good match overall. This week, Mercedes gets one up on Tony. Last week it was Tony that got the one up. So, it's building steadily, but we'll see what happens in Grand Slam Mexico with Mercedes challenging Zooxies for the CMLL women's title.
Yeah, that should be a good one.
It should be a good one, but you know what? I don't think Mercedes is going to leave with that belt. I feel like that'd be too easy. It'd be too expected.
Low-hanging fruit.
Low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. I say expect some shenanigans in that match where she won't leave with that title in Mexico.
Definitely. Next up, we get the conglomeration. They get the win over the Maxim Models and Ty Valkyra with Johnny TV ringside. This was a good match, but
yeah,
the conglomeration, I always get that wrong. Get the win. Your thoughts on this one?
This was a good pick me up from the previous match. I mean, because listen, it's Mark Briscoe and Willow on the same team, so you could hear it in the crowd. Like they got up for this match, and all the parties, like they meshed well together. And I just love the chemistry between Briscoe, Willow, and Ishii. Like Ishii, Ishii, like it's fun seeing him in the conglomeration. Like he seems like it's where he seems like the odd man out, but then at the same time he fits perfectly
Definitely. I see
in
what you
that
mean.
group. And Willow is just a house of fire. Like when she gets in the ring, the crowd is on their feet. They're up at attention. Like she and everyone could get them hands from Willow. Like she's power slamming Mason, Mason off the top row with Mark, taking out Tyra for the victory, hit her with the doctor bomb and everything. Nice good match, nice good pickup, and get the crowd energized to, I think, finish the show very strong afterwards.
Definitely. I like AEW storytelling lately, especially when they plant seeds. And I feel like this next segment backstage was a seed planter. I don't know where they're headed with it, but Wheeler Yuta was backstage talking to Chris Statlander, old best friend buddies, old running mates. Boy, have they both come a long way when I was looking at them two together right there. But anyway, it was a little her thinking, him trying to lure her in. She walks off, walks past Marina. But Chris Statlander, could she possibly fit in the Death Riders?
That I'm not sure, but like you said, look, this is the soil. This is Wheeler planting seeds right here.
Planting seeds.
Planting seeds. He's paying attention. He sees the rift between Statlander and Willow. And let's be honest, things haven't been going smoothly for the Death Riders. I mean, they lost that Double or Nothing. Mox might be on the ropes right now, so they're trying to get a little backup, trying to play a little mind games, You bring Statlander into the Death Riders, and facing her former best friend in Willow, we'll see we'll see what goes on. I mean, it could go either way. She can join the Death Riders. It will make a lot of sense. Or does she come to her senses and says, nah, I want to get back with my best friend in Willow. I want to patch things up. It's very interesting to see. But like you said, that's why this 4 hours went better than last week's, because they had a whole show worth of storylines between the Death Riders, like trying to create division amongst whoever can help Hangman in any way. And Statlander was right there, so I'm curious to see where they go with this. And I like the fact that we didn't have a definitive answer of what Statlander was going to do. She looked dismissive, but it looks like she was still pondering it, so that's something to keep an eye on the next couple of weeks.
Definitely. Next up, two of my favorite guys to watch, Bandito versus the Beast Mortis. The finish of this the I don't even, what is it? Fireman suplex, back moonsault off the top rope,
avalanche, like fireman's fall away slam. Like, oh god,
you ain't kicking out of that. Whatever it was called, Bandito.
Care how much Mortis. Of a beast you are, man.
Not at all. He gets the win. Your thoughts on this incredible matchup?
Whoo, goddamn, this match was fun. I mean, these are two of the best of the best. I don't care. Luchador, not Luchador, these are the two best talents in the world on the damn roster. And what's crazy, this match wasn't even announced. I think this was a standby match, and I don't know, it's because of time or whatever that they had to put these guys out there. Whatever the reason, I'm glad that we got this match, because Bandito is one of the best in the world. Beast Mortos keeps putting on banger after banger after banger. And speaking of Beast Mortos, Tony, when the hell are you going to put that Beast Mortals mask on sale? I need that in my inbox right now. I've told people this on Twitter. You put that on sale, I will do an entire episode of my podcast in that mask. I'll do an entire review show with that mask on. That mask is beautiful. Yes. It is gorgeous. I mean, they put the Bandito mask on sale. That's cool. It's a nice mask, but that Mortos mask, it's some scary nightmare shit right there. But I need that. Put that on sale ASAP, and I will wear it for all our wonderful followers and fans. But dude, that finish that had me scared for a bit. I'm like, please don't fall, please don't break anything. But Bandito in charge. Like, he may not look good, but the dude is just super strong. Like you said, top rope, fall away, avalanche, like fall away slam, press them. 1, 2, 3. You ain't kicking out of that. I don't care how much of a Beast Mortos is. He is human underneath that mask. So 1, 2, 3. Bandito picks up the win.
Definitely. Great match. Mm-hmm. Next up, the women keep it rolling as Tekla defeats the Queen, Aminata. Do not sleep on the Queen. She was incredible in this match as well, but Tekla is just something different every week. She is just intriguing me more and more. I like to call her style deliberately stiff, meaning it's not sloppy stiff. It's deliberately. It looks like real punches when she hits, man. When she slams, it's a effect. It's not like I want this to look fake. She kind of reminds me of Mercedes, where it looks like she's really hitting her opponent. I know this is scripted, ladies and gentlemen, but when you can ride that line of really making it look real as a woman, especially, it's just incredible. And I just love her style of wrestling, her gimmick, everything about her so far. Her whole presentation to AEW is incredible. But like I said, Queen, don't sleep on the Queen. She has a run in her future coming soon. I can see it. But your thoughts on this one?
I mean, great match between Aminata and Tekla. Like you said, with Tekla, everything she does, it's with a purpose. I mean, everything she does is with authority, whether it's a punch, a kick, a slam, a submission, anything she does. She's not just doing stuff to do stuff. She is doing stuff to inflict pain on you. She's doing stuff to just confuse you, disorient you. I mean, she is just in control the entire time. She's never moving too fast. She's never moving too slow. Like I said, she's moving with a purpose. And my God, you just think of the psychological, like, what mind games that she's playing. Like when she goes into that spider pose, you're dazed and confused. You turn around, look at that. Like you're like, what the hell am I going to? The next thing you know, you are caught in that spider trap. Like, and there's nowhere to go, nothing to do except tap out. Ref rings the bell. But like you said, it will be the Queen's day one day, but it's just not right now. But Aminata, like, she's going to be a big player in this women's division in the future. But right now, it is the time of the Toxic Spider. That continues to impress and improve and just amaze the crowd every week.
Yes, she does. 100%. But before we get to the main event, we got a segment backstage. Lee Johnson and your boy Vanilla Baby running to the king. Ricochet himself backstage. He's looking for a group. He's trying to assemble an army, and they know it. They come turning in their resume, but Ricochet looks at them and basically says, not today. You guys been losing. I'm looking for winners. This group that he's going to assemble, trust me, they're going to make a serious force in the AEW. Your thoughts on this segment backstage?
Well, listen, you know what? I got a little bit of an issue with Ricochet. He's going around week by week looking for this new team to look with. Bro, you got your team right here, dude.
We here, bro.
Whoa, listen. First of all, what shirt size are you? We will send you a Bald World Order T-shirt
in the mail tomorrow.
In the mail tomorrow, dog. Like you look like a large because you a big man. You know, you a big man,
no Diddy.
King Ricochet, and no Diddy. But you know what? Listen. But seriously though, listen, whatever team that he assembles, it should be us. But if in the case it ain't, I can't wait to see who he assembles with. You know, I'm gonna throw a name out there. I'm gonna throw two
Let's
individuals.
See what you got.
What is Private Party up to these days? Ooh. What are they up to these days? They've been kind of laying low in the weeds ever since they lost the tag titles. And you know what? They're listen, there's still a couple of young guys. You know what? I mean, where can they improve? Where can they blossom to their full potential? By learning under his king, his airness himself, and King Ricochet. Can you imagine King Ricochet with Private Party? I mean, that'd be dope. I think that'd be an awesome pairing. I mean, like I said, great tutelage for Private Party. I mean, you know what? King Ricochet, I think, would set them on the right path to success in AEW and the world professional wrestling. So just throw that out there. But so like I said, yo, King, if you got my boy Abe and myself right here. Listen, we are ready to go. Listen, we got the team haircut and everything. Like, dog, just pick up the phone, shoot us the email, and the shirt's all yours, brother.
Let's do it, brother. Then it takes us to the main event where the Don Callis family defeat Garcia, Cole, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly. This was a good match, man. And Josh Alexander is just the truth. I wish it was more room right now in AEW for him to shine. Unfortunately, it is just too many stars right now. He came a year late. if you ask me. Right now, it's just
Mhm.
not much he can do, but every time I see him in a match, I just like him more and more. His style, I'm a big Kurt Angle fan. He gives me that Greco-Roman wrestler type vibe, and I just
Mhm.
appreciate it. I love it. Hell of a main event. Your thoughts on this, though, Bob?
I'll say two things. Yes, was it a good main event? Yes, it was. But I say the next part respectively. This is another match that I feel we have seen in some variation
Yep,
over and over and
we have.
over again. I say this respectfully for the love of God. I don't need to see this combination of people in a match together again. Because this is going back to almost double or nothing with the trios match between Paragon and the Don Callis family. It's the same match. Now you added Daniel Garcia on one team and you added Lance Archer pretty much on the other team. I'm sorry, but this roster is too deep and there's too many players involved to not give us different types of tags or trios or 8 or 10-man matches. Like, can we please? It's a good match. Don't get me wrong, very entertaining match, but I don't need to see the same combination of players going forward. We have to we got to rotate something somewhere. We got to break this mess up. And honestly, I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I am not interested in any more discourse or storyline between Daniel Garcia and Adam Cole. I'm sorry. Dan Garcia needs something. He
He
needs to
does.
switch it up something because I'm sorry, Danny. I like Daniel Garcia, but he's just stale right now. He's just flat right now. It is. I
I
don't
agree.
know. Like, I just haven't seen enough in the past 6 months to a year for him taking that next step. Him just everyone his age or close to it that I feel has gone up a little bit. Him, he's just same as usual. I'm sorry, in this division, in this roster, you cannot be the same because I feel everyone right now is kind of passing him by a little bit, and he's right here. I don't know what it is exactly right now, but he needs something new, a new direction, a new attitude, something. Maybe a little time away from TV to figure out for Tony Khan and creative to do something with him, but it's got to be done sooner rather than later. Respectively, him, Cole involved in any way, shape, or form, teaming, not teaming, anything around TNT. I'm sorry, I'm not interested.
Same here, man. I'm all for it, man.
Mhm.
But solid show, like we said at the beginning, it flowed by, no stops. It was nothing I really wanted to fast forward by. A couple sloppy moments, but overall, great professional wrestling. Starting off with Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, you can't go wrong with that. So, scale of 1 to 10, what you giving it tonight?
It was better than last week, like I said, better 4 hour slot this week, but thank God it won't be 4 hours next week. I need to rest, like
Right.
I gotta wake up in a few hours for work, but I'm gonna give it overall all 4 hours. I'll give it an 8.3 for me.
8.3. I'm around the same way. I'm giving it about an 8.9, close to an A show, but it was just like you said, a couple of matches felt like I seen them before,
Yeah,
and that whole big 8-man fuck fest just threw me off, man. It was just too much going on.
yeah.
But there's a question in the comment for you. It says, "So WWE versus AAA, so we get AEW versus CMLL." I think CMLL and AEW were a little before the
Yeah,
AAA.
they've been going. They've
Yeah.
been they've been in partnership like for, I swear, almost 2 years now,
Yeah, it's
year and
been
a
a
half.
while. It's definitely
Yeah,
been a while.
they've been featured on television for like well more than a year. I mean, AEW has sent like a majority of their top stars to Mexico the past year or so over there, and vice versa. CMLL sending their top stars via AEW. So like this partnership started before WWE purchased AAA. So yeah, I mean, listen, it's good for all wrestling, And just real quick, I got to deviate. This would be maybe a good little clip, but you know what I love about the whole WWE and AAA partnership is that it proves a lot of the fan bases, like how do you say, that a lot of them are hypocrites, or says sense that you hear a lot of these so-called fans that say they don't like comedy wrestling, they don't like flippy wrestling, they don't like any of this high flying stuff. But then the Worlds Collide show comes up, and it was a very good show. I'm not putting down the show at all. Very good show. I think it was better than Money in the Bank, in my opinion. That's me. But you look at a guy like Iguana, with the fake plushie doll, and let's say they're around doing the Spanish fly to the doll. I love it. I thought it was great. I thought it was hilarious. But that is the stuff that, like, the comedy wrestling that a lot of these fans say that they hated Orange Cassidy, that they hate comedy wrestling, that they hate the flippy stuff, they hate the fast forward, stuff like that. But it only depends if it's your favorite 3-letter wrestling promotion, isn't it? All right, it's cool. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when they do it. That's what I love about this partnership between WWE and AAA. Like, it makes a lot of these fans, they don't know yet, but a lot of you are hypocrites because, like I said, a lot of you will claim that you don't like the comedy wrestling like Orange Cassidy. You don't like the flippy wrestling like what the Lucha Brothers were in AEW. You hated that stuff, but you loved it when it came to WWE. You always flip on a dime. What did Daniel Bryan used to say about the wrestling fans? Fickle. You liars. You lie yourself. Guess what? I don't care what promotion it is. Comedy wrestling is cool. Lucha Libre wrestling is cool. Great characters like Iguana and Orange Cassidy are fucking dope, man. Like, Jesus Christ, how many followers has Iguana gotten since appearing on Worlds Collide? This dude is, like, on the top of his game right now. But like I said, this partnership points out a lot of hypocrisy in the IWC.
Facts, man. You're not lying, man. Mm-hmm. Talk to the people. What's going on in the group chat wrestling world?
All right. Sorry, man. Just very tired. I'm not going to lie, a little under the weather, too, so I'm trying to stay strong.
Almost there. We crossing the finish line.
All right, guys. Okay, Group Chat Wrestling Podcast. We are recording episode 49 tomorrow, so expect a release probably Friday morning, for release of episode 49, available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all your podcast platforms. Please follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We release about 4 to 6 clips for every episode. Please like and share the videos. It's much appreciated. And you know what? I'm going to give you guys a little hint. I have a little bit of a surprise for the release of this next episode. So if you haven't already, please follow me on Twitter at that bald bro. Like I said, I got a little special surprise for the release of the next episode. So you want to be tuned in. Something very interesting is on the way.
Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, and make sure you also stay tuned tomorrow. The Holy Shhh Podcast, our in-studio show. It is Men's Mental Health Month, so we're diving into the topic tomorrow, talking about some deep shh. So check it out. Myself, Chuck Jordan, Coach DTM, and Ron T, the icon. And look out for me and Minx. We are working on this new show that's going to air this weekend, so just look out for that. But other than that, bro, we out of here. AEW blockbuster, summer blockbuster in the book. Till next week, 2-hour show, back to normal. It's your boy AB from DET.
I'm that Bald Bro for the NYC.
You guys been tuning in to the Holy Shhh Podcast, AEW Summer Blockbuster post show. Peace.